Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. It's an earlier stream. I started doing one of those, keep you youngs on your toes there. We will be doing the next turn here in the Admiral Dadman campaign. Which should be pretty fun, actually. We did have our forces make landfall in Java last turn. I could have actually pulled all amphibious forces back, actually. But I'm going to keep, we are keeping forces by the name. I can't remember the bloody name of it now. It's the one that begins with K, I think it is. So we do have a few thousand more tons of supply to unload. And I do want to keep them in place because it does provide security for the forces coming in as well. It might also draw air power to them, which we can actually have taken down by the LRCAP. And it's going to be interesting. I do think he's going to go ahead and probably throw out the MTBs and the gunboats here this turn. But we'll go ahead and we'll find out then. How you doing there, Mexicans? I don't know how to say that, Mexicans. Oh dear. How you doing there, my dude? Hope you're well. Okay. Yeah, so we have our forces arriving in Java. Well, obviously we have our forces attacking in Java today, so we'll have medic and we'll have the base I can't remember the name of. We'll have aviation support in place then as well. We do have more aviation support moving in there about 2 days later or so as well, when the second wave arrives. So we'll have that. The question is going to be really, will he move to the mountains? He's likely moving to the mountains. That seems to be the suggestion there. But we didn't see him moving this turn. But, well, last turn. We'll see. We'll see. That will not buff out. It's talking about the mines. Yeah, he just wanted to give us a reason to make use of a newfound shipyard at Singapore, actually. He's so nice, isn't he? So nice. But it's not too bad. And the damage they took wasn't that bad. I did decide to actually have him sent back to Singapore immediately. I was a little bit confused, actually, how the adjacency worked. I thought Medic went directly to Oosthaven. But it doesn't. You have to go Medic and south and then to Oosthaven. Because Oosthaven has a, it has like what looks like, it's a red line, so whether it's like a reef or just some land there. But you can't go directly from Oosthaven to Medic or Medic to Oosthaven. You have to go to the west, sorry, and then go in. Right, so this is where we're going to see, yep, so our forces are continuing to unload over here. So take a look at the current situation. We're aware of a submarine over here, which we were beforehand. We do have forces moving in here with cover. Ideally, we don't have any other ships hit mines, but we'll see. If they hit mines, unless they go down immediately, they can be saved and taken to Singapore to be repaired. But I've got to get the forces in here. The minefield should be less dangerous due to the fact that we are aware of it now. Submarines in the area. I don't know, I feel like it's going to throw out the MTBs there, but we'll see. We are sweeping more mines over here at Cali. There we go. So you can see there's a fair few mines there, or there were a fair few mines there. So things could have been significantly worse. Okay, so we do see a sub out here. So it does land a torpedo into the side of the AK though, which is a bit of a shame. Those are the ones heading back to Oosthaven. So if they make it back, is it going to go down? It doesn't go down, so it will likely make it back to Oosthaven. It's a size 3 port at Oosthaven, so we can have it put into port there. We can have it actually repaired, but afterwards... Ooh, okay, so miss against the patrol boat there, as they're moving into port here at Oosthaven. Okay. So you get, say, torpedo in there, but we can have that buffed out at a later stage in Singapore. Or even in Surabaya, perhaps, but we'll see about that. I mean, this is it. I'm looking forward to having the repair shipyard over here at Surabaya. Maybe it'd be worthwhile potentially beefing them up, but I'm not too sure about that. Maybe, maybe not. We'd have to take a look and see what we could really gain. It wouldn't be bad to potentially have more repair shipyards out there. Larger shipyards, I should say. The reason being you can actually, well, keep the Imperial Japanese Navy afloat, which is always useful. So I didn't see the MTBs like I thought we would. Moonlight's quite high as well, so I expected more there. So the PB hits a mine. Yeah, we hit a few mines here. Hitting quite a few mines there. And we hit the cruiser mine layer here of the enemy twice there. She will not be doing any damage to us in the future. So a few mines hit over there by the AKs and the PBs. Bit of a shame. So some ships go down here. Yeah, bloody day today with the mines, but it's to be expected. I want to get the troops across. I could have waited, but I want to get them across because we need to go hard on Java. So you can see he's moving his forces out to Batavia here. This is the hex I want to prevent him from really massing him, but it looks likely it's going to actually happen there. Hey, didn't I, layman? Yeah, this is it, isn't it, really? Shipyards are one of those things where if he takes the base, he takes the base. It doesn't really matter if it's got these shipyards in there, so he could build them up anyway. So we'll take a look. Ooh, we do see some allied ships out there by the Laysan Island. Interesting. So we had something go down. I think it was only about one ship goes down. I'm not too sure about that. I didn't hear multiple sinking sounds, but we'll see. But frankly, the ones I've got in today are the smaller AKs, like the AKLs. Oh, we do shoot down a PPY-5 there, which is nice. I'm really hoping that we actually get to catch his PPYs on the airfield at the main base there. I forget the name, Cal or something like that. Caljati or something. I could do with putting the actual name in Google Translate so I can remember what it is. That'd be nice. Okay, continue to hit the runways here. We will have a bombardment again today. But keeping up the actual bombardment against the airfield is good. What we're going to do here then, once we have a pretty comfortable amount of damage on the airfield, is we're going to switch over to start hitting the actual port there. There's a number of actual ships in the port, so hitting some of those would be very nice. Hitting the submarines would be especially nice there. Singapore, Manila, Saigon, Surabaya, 50 to 100, yeah. I mean, that said, if you could repair any large ship in any of those bases, it's quite useful. Right, there we go. I don't know about that large, but I mean, this is it. We can always see about that. Okay. My worry with Surabaya is it's a little... I don't know. Is it more exposed than Singapore? Singapore is much better protected. It has greater protection against the sea threats. But then this is it. Anything against, like, aviation, there's not much you can do other than just, like, throw up some additional fighters there, really, isn't it? Okay, more hits on the runway. I'm liking that so far. It's looking pretty encouraging. We do have our key 48s coming in here. Haven't had many of them shot down for a while now, which is quite good. We're not even seeing damage to the aircraft, so that's pretty good there. I wonder if he lost quite a lot of his actual AA. Oh, so we do see two Hawks here escorting some 139s. He doesn't have many of these 139s left now. So we have 13 Key 43 1Bs, we have 4 Key 43 1As. Looks like we're behind them here. They should actually be at different altitudes, if not... these guys might be about 6. These guys are probably about 8,000 feet. I can't recall, actually. They might be about 8 each. Either way, we'll be able to get through this. They should have the speed, but I'm not entirely sure what the speed of the 139 is. Okay. Yep, so the Hawks are gone now. Oh, so the 139s do make it through amazingly. That's incredible. Considering we had, like, quite a few fighters there, actually. But yeah, they strike at the wrong target there. But those bombs would actually hurt. Ah. They shouldn't be there. They're flying cap there. They were meant to be only here at Chiang Mai, actually. I did specify that. Right. So that looks like we had a cap bleed there. So we do have 1-0 shot down. I think we hit some H-81s there, potentially. But that 0 shouldn't have been there. But I suppose it does add something there to his considerations. As it was resisted, it will actually reduce the effectiveness of his bomber attack. I didn't see what the effectiveness was, actually. But that looks like a cap bleed there. It's a lot harder for the Allies to get Singapore or those potential Japanese air bases. Yeah, exactly. So we do have the PBs go down there. AK goes down. So we rescue some men there from the 144th Regiment. The thing is, they're already at the base. There's a lot of ships in the area, so they should be okay. So we have Moreton Bay there, who had previously moved in and moved out. Apparently, Allied light cruiser there to the south is really intriguing. That's very intriguing. It's a Fiji-class light cruiser as well. Interesting. Now, I do have the capability to strike at that. I don't quite have the fighters in the right position for it. We do have a fair number of subs in that area. We do have we have a heavy cruiser and 2 to 3 destroyers, actually, at Kopang. Little bit worrying, actually. Ideally, it's not Hermes, but if it is Hermes, it'd be strange to have it there. But we would have reports of Hermes by now. Yeah, we do have about 40-odd zeros at Benjamin, however you want to say that, so we'll be able to deal with that. So you are seeing 4 key 43 1Bs here. They do have a slightly larger armament than the 1A. Not quite as good as the 1C, but they should cause some damage, yes. We do have elements turned back. So there's an unsuccessful attack there. We have more coming in here. We have 2 key 43 1Bs and 2 key 43 1As here. Flying out from Soribaya. Yep, elements turning back. See, this is it. I would have preferred to shot them up there. I mean, we've hit some mines of Merrick, which was to be expected. I mean, I could potentially have delayed things, but I think it's worthwhile to get everything underway now. I think it's one of these, we've just got to get things in there. I mean, they will be the regiment that will take Batavia, so I do need to have enough AV to take Batavia quickly. Yeah, unload in here. Okay. Yeah, heavy damage there. The ones that survive and make it back to Oosthaven can be repaired, but we'll take Merrick here today, so we'll be able to put them into support there. So a couple losses on the unloading. That's only supply over there, so there's no losses there. So moving here into the ground phase. Okay. So we do have our deliberate attack over here, south of Xi'an, on the major road. So, yep, there we go. So we do see the 92nd Chinese Corps there. We see the 41st Chinese Corps there. The rest of the units are essentially shattered. There's a lot of group army headquarters here. It'd be really quite nice to actually take out these army headquarters, considering the fact that they actually do give them a real boost in combat. So taking them out would be nice. All that support there to be taken out would be great too. But I don't think there's much left in these units, really. We do have here 12th and 13th armies. We should actually have the 2 army headquarters over here as well at Nanyang actually helping us perhaps. But we do have a number of tank regiments. We have the 36th Japanese Division. We have the 32nd, the 10th Division there as well. So we have 3 divisions in there. We did have the 104th Division, I think it is, down here at Nanyang. But elements are marching over here, and then elements are marching over here to the rear. We do have 35th Division moving up over here. The other element of the 104th remains in Nanyang recovering. So we'll be able to deal with these forces here. Yep. Okay, we'll still speed things up. Yeah, so destroying quite a few units there. Yeah, so they retreat there. They continue north, but that unit is a shattered core as well to the north. But we do force a few units to surrender there, which is excellent. So we only suffered 294 casualties there. 5 destroyed, 43 disabled, 11 destroyed. Sorry, 11 disabled, 7 disabled engineers. 11 non-combatants, 7 engineers. No vehicles lost, no disabled. We don't see any lack of supply here, but he's going to be running out. Yeah, really good there. So we had adjusted AV to 1340. His was 508 from 318. He suffers there 7,328 casualties, 224 squads destroyed, 23 disabled, 283 non-combatants destroyed, 81 disabled, 29 engineers destroyed, 3 disabled, 16 guns lost, 13 disabled, 8 units retreat, 3 were destroyed. I didn't quite see which units were destroyed, so I'd have to re-watch that. But it looks excellent. We are shock attack. Yeah, we have our shock attack across the river here, so we see the 19th Chinese Corps. We are attacking with the 26th Division here. Ideally, the armored car company isn't destroyed here in this attack, but we have 3 mixed brigades here. We have a mortar battalion. I did want to have a 4th mixed brigade, but I had to send it this way. We do have a headquarters here, and a headquarters here, I think, as well, actually. So we will be able to devastate this unit here. Yeah, you can see 19th Chinese Corps falling apart, 6th Group Army falling apart. So 982 there to 29. They retreat. Both retreat to the north there, towards Yunnan. So we have the attack we wanted here. Oh wow, and they were lacking supplies, so it's even worse for them there. We have 299 casualties, 1 destroyed squad, 14 squads disabled, 5 non-combatants disabled there, 2 engineers disabled. On the other hand, the Chinese forces here suffer 2,736 casualties, 121 squad destroyed, 52 disabled, 130 non-combatant destroyed, 39 disabled, 2 engineers destroyed, 10 disabled, 11 guns destroyed, 29 disabled, and they retreat there. Now, they're in tie-free terrain, but we'll be able to kick them out and begin moving down this road here pretty quick. The armoured car company seems to have been fine. We haven't had any vehicles lost or anything like that, so that's good news. We do have another bombardment over here at Manila. I do wonder why he hasn't attacked over here, because the time he has to attack there is running out as well, which is not good. For him, for us it's good. For us it's very good. Okay. So I did retire some units from the bombardment that didn't have the capability to actually bombard, or had some disabled elements, so I decided to rest the ones that needed to be. But we are bombarding here. It does keep up pressure on the enemy here. Not a terrible amount, but it does help. It does reduce their AV a little bit each time. And it does hurt us as well, but not as badly. So we have 1 gun destroyed here, 8 disabled, 11 vehicles destroyed, 15 disabled. Obviously those could be trucks, etc. It's hard to tell. I wish it did tell you. We inflict 54 casualties. So it's a case of, is it worthwhile? Perhaps, perhaps not. But we're at 1683 there, he's at 713. We'll have another attack in a short period of time. So we are attacking over here at... oh my god, he actually did move his forces in here. That's actually going to be really intriguing, Ben. That's really unexpected, man. Really unexpected. So we do see 1st KNL Regiment, we see 2nd KNL Regiment, we do see the Landstorm Storm over here, 2 Landstorm Battalions. That's actually really impressive. We see the 1st Regiment of Cavalry here. This is actually surprising. Shock Attack's going to be intriguing. I think we will win this, but I think we might take a few casualties here, which is a interesting situation. Now I'm quite happy because we do have another 2 regiments and a tank regiment coming in behind them. This is actually unexpected, to be honest. Yeah, had this unit actually been a single division, we probably would have done... I don't know, would we have done better? Maybe, maybe not. But we do have tanks here. He's lacking on tanks. It's going to be interesting, actually. I don't know if we'll win this. We'll see. We still have a good amount of AV. We do have a shock attack there. It's clear terrain. It is surprising, actually. I didn't expect him to do this. Did not expect that. And the shock attack is the best we can get, really. So we'll see here then, 358, 136. So he holds the base there. That is surprising. Wow, okay. Defender was even in the wrong ops mode. So we had 1,002 casualties, so he does hold on this turn. We got off quite lightly there, but we will have additional forces landed tomorrow. We'll be able to... That's actually really, really good for us. He might actually be sending more men in here, but I didn't expect him to tie us up over here, actually. So we have 3 squads destroyed, 80 disabled, 2 non-combatants destroyed there, 6 disabled, 1 engineer destroyed, 10 disabled, 4 vehicles lost, 1 destroyed, 3 disabled. He suffers 897 casualties, 7 squads destroyed, 93 disabled, 20 non-combatants disabled, yeah. So quite light losses, 1 destroyed, 30 guns disabled, actually. Now, had that been a single division, I reckon we'd have done better there. But he has AV here. We had 440 base, he had 351 base, we had an adjusted assault of 358, his adjusted defense was 136, so he almost lost there. How you doing there, Grim? Good to have you, my man. He's at level 2 fortifications, we reduced the fortifications down to 0. Yeah, so this is it. So they're at level 0 fortification, so next time we'll kick him out. We do have reinforcements of 2 regiments and an additional tank regiment coming in, which means additional bombardment capability. This is actually good for us, actually. I didn't expect him to go for it. Did not expect that. So we have 111 AV there with the 144th Regiment. Be able to move into Batavia next turn. I'll begin moving into Batavia. We'll be in Batavia in 2 days. We capture Merrick. The Merrick base force surrenders, which is good news. And we move in there. So we do see that we destroy a Catalina on the ground and a Hawk on the ground, which is good news. I had hoped we could have done the same here. But I'm surprised he actually did make this, that effort there. Yep, so no Japanese casualties, we destroy the unit, and we'll be able to move on from there. We are attacking over here to take this base. That light cruiser's intriguing, though. No, no naval fire support. Well, technically, they did have a little bit of bombardment from the PBs. No heavy cruiser fire support, because we didn't expect to see the units there, actually. I mean, we do have the heavy cruisers on hand, but they don't need that fire support. I mean, we could give it if it's really required, but I don't think so. So we have Fusan expand to size 8 airfield, Lei expands to size 4, Rebel expands to size 6, which is good for us. No, I don't think we need the naval gunfire support. I mean, maybe we could go for it, but I then have to rearm the heavy cruisers. We still have the Warrior BMTBs and the gunboats in the area, so I may hold off on that. I mean, this is it. We had adjusted there above his. He almost lost that. He's got 0 fortifications this turn. We do have another 2 regiments coming in, and a armoured regiment as well coming in. So they'll have a little bit of extra bombardment there. Now, we're looking good. Clear terrain. It's actually really surprising. It's not a bad situation, it's actually a good situation for us. I mean, it's a shame that we didn't take the base, but the fact that we didn't take the base is actually probably better. Because that gives us a second chance to attack him, which is good news. And especially as we'll be attacking with additional reinforcements, that's going to be really good for us. Okay, awesome. Awesome turn. A little bit unexpected, but then again, we only had about 1,000 casualties. We lost not that many destroyed, actually. We had a few ships lost to mines, which is to be expected. We could have prevented it, but I think it's worthwhile moving in the rest of that regiment there, in my opinion. Because now we have enough forces to move upon Batavia immediately. It gives him the, well, it puts the pressure on there, really. We need to keep moving forces. I will have DMSs moved out to medic shortly. There we go. So go ahead and take a look at the aircraft losses today. Aircraft losses. So he loses 3 Catalinas today, 2 to air-to-air, 1 on the ground. LPBY 5. I thought we hit 1 on the ground today. Was it PPY 5? Should have been a PPY 5. He loses 3 PPY 5s, he loses 3 Hawks, we have a Dino loss, a 0 loss, unfortunately. Not seeing any H-81s, actually, so that's a shame. That's a shame. That shouldn't have been there, actually. He loses a Kingfisher, which is intriguing, and a Catalina goes down there. I'll take a look at ship's loss here today. So, he loses the bloody Nemesis that caused a problem over here, and that's not a bad ship to have there, really. The 40mm AA guns are pretty damn good, 264. It's actually pretty damn maneuverable. It's a fast ship as well. That's not a bad ship at all as a mine layer. Radar too, so that's a good thing to take out. So we do take it out. It has caused some damage, but not that much in the way of damage. We have 2 Kisos lost there to mines. A Gozan. Gozans are nice, actually. But that's about it. It did cause damage to other ships, but in reality we can repair those and make good of it. I did expect the MTBs, in all honesty. Maybe it doesn't have them. Maybe it doesn't have them. And I might have been worrying. So we see down here to the south, apparently a light cruiser. I may go ahead and actually try to intercept that. I do have a number of submarines in this area as well we could potentially do that with. As you can see, we have Sus moving out this way. We do have our heavy cruiser here and 2 destroyers. We have the heavy cruiser Nachi and Amasukazi and Yuzuki over here. So, only thing we're lacking is fuel, but we do have fuel here. So we could move out to actually engage that light cruiser. I do have the AK here at Kopanga as well to enable that. That's good. That is good. I could even potentially have it set up for G4M1 attack there, which is viable. Yeah, we'll be able to chase that down. Getting a light cruiser would be nice. So he still has the 13 auxiliaries over here. That's intriguing. So how are we looking fatigue-wise? 28, 26, 20. Not bad. Disruption's up there, but it should recover by next turn. But it's not that bad. TOEs. So we did take some damage to the TOEs of these units here. Disabled. That's the problem with the 56th Division being in regiments. It does cause you problems like that. But we'll be able to win this. We're at 339 AV. We do have plenty of supply. And behind them we do have additional troops. We have 20th Regiment and 9th Regiment and 8th Tank Regiment there. Alongside 29th JAF Airfield Battalion. And... is it just 29th? I thought we had more in there. Yeah, it looks like just 29th there. But we'll have that. I could organise a bombardment if I so wish to do so, which is a nice little prospect for us. So what I'm going to do then is actually place them into... I mean, I could shock attack that, but I'm going to go with deliberate attack, perhaps. I may change that to a shock attack next time. We'll see. Tanks are alright. I mean, that's it. We do have a tank here, which is nice. So that is interesting. That is very interesting. So 4 units over here. He has 1 unit here. I genuinely expected him to move to the mountains. Genuinely expected him to move to the mountains. He might have actually thought we only had 1 regiment there. And I can see what it was going for, but in all honesty, that's worked out in our favour, because that actually gives us the ability to attack once again. And he may end up retreating towards Batavia if we're very lucky. I really do hope he retreats to Batavia. That'd be excellent. But we do have 144th across here. Let's see, let's take a look at our forces. Yes, we do have a ship over here, which I'm going to go ahead and put into port. It's not on... it does have some fires, but it should be okay. My mouse is going all weird here. So place you into the port there. Yeah, I mean, this is it. The majority of these ships are quite low value. We do have the 3 Ansoyu PBs. We also do have the heavy cruiser here. So not much was hit of value. Fires, no fires. These ships will survive. Thames Maru will survive. She didn't take a torpedo, so she will survive as well. I'm a survivor. There we go. That is interesting, but I didn't expect him to actually attempt to contest us on the ground. And he knew what we had there, so that is still surprising that he went ahead and went with it. He might have hoped that... I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, we are weaker by having regiments as separate units there. 113th took a few casualties, but not that many. 27 disabled. It lost about half it. Well, not near. Yeah, more or less like half its fighting strength in terms of squads there. But that's not bad. We still have the equipment to be able to recover quickly enough. I mean, this is it. We have the regiments there. And behind that, we have additional tanks coming in, the 16th Reconnaissance Regiment. We also have the 16th Engineer Regiment coming in as well. So, my mouse is all weird today. So you can see that will bring motorized cavalry, a couple tankettes. But a couple tankettes in clear terrain can make difference. We might go ahead and actually consider giving bombardment support, but I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it. We'll probably take that base damage though, it's going to be the problem. But we should be able to manage quite nicely. So he did have 2 submarines over here at Semarang. Why is my mouse being so weird? So it looks like he expected us to land at Semarang, which is not too surprising. I did have movements towards it, and I was considering landing there. But I decided it's actually going to make more sense to land over here, considering we have cleared it now of mines. I could have those DMSs moved over here to Batavia with a escort to make sure we clear American mines, and then I can move across the other regiments. But surprise result there, so 2 units in there. Now, it's looking good. We've had a few losses over here, but nothing really major. A few ships hitting mines sucks, but we can manage that. We do have the light cruisers moving over here, no fires. They'll simply move into Singapore and go ahead and repair, frankly. So to 39,000 ton capacity of the shipyard, which is nice. Okay. Oh no, not that bad. Not that bad. I'm a little bit surprised about the 0 over here bleeding over. Oh, it's because they still had the range on, that's why. That was my bad there. That was my bad. A bit of a shame there. So I'll go like that. 17 fatigue. Still a fair amount of fatigue there. I might want to consider actually rest them, perhaps. But I could always sweep. But I think I would like to have a bit of rest there. These guys, okay. They were in combat mode. Well, they are in combat mode now. I'm going to check on combat. So we had 51 mines cleared here. We haven't lost any destroyers. Oh, are you talking about in the entire game? We've lost a few destroyers, but that's going to happen anyway. I mean, every ship's important, don't get me wrong. As we had 3 mines cleared. No, sorry, technically they still got the number wrong there. Had 4 mines cleared. Yeah, hitting that ship was nice. 2 torpedoes in there, she's probably going to be crippled or killed. She doesn't really have anywhere to go now. If she goes back to survive, she'll inevitably be killed. If she makes a run out into the ocean, she might be hit by another sub. Or she might just go down due to flooding. Where is it? So they dropped over here and it looks like it was ineffective. Yes, it looks like we actually did prevent any losses there, which is nice. Well, I know, Grim, but you can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs. I mean, this is it. It's like there's no perfect war. If you get hung up on like destroy losses and stuff like that, I mean, yeah, it hurts. But what are you gonna do if you lose 20? You don't give up. And we'll take a look. So we've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Obviously, varying classes of destroyer there. My mouse is so bloody annoying at the moment. But that's fine. It's not great, but majority of these aren't too meaningful. Obviously, they all matter, but I can't change the losses there. I mean, seriously, what do we do about it? Can't do jack. He's got to take another chin and carry on. He's lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Nearly traded, but obviously he's worth less. Okay. So do have our forces moving north here. Well, I mean, this is it. They're all good, but this is the thing. You can't get too hung up on classes of ship, because essentially they are more capable than the older destroyers, but a destroyer is still a destroyer no matter its type, or no matter its class, really. Obviously, you do want to have the more modern ones in there, but the older ones still serve in a pinch, and they still serve for the majority of the campaign, which is good. Okay. So we're looking better on supply over here to Pegu. Yeah, Pegu. Quite a lot of supply actually moved in today, so we're looking at 1709 here today. That's excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Closing in there on the size 4 airfield at Chiang Mai. Yep, we have more forces unpacking here. So we actually do have quite a lot of engineers here. We do have a good amount of aviation support, and we have some AA, which is nice. So 150, no, 77, no, sorry, 120 aviation support, 77 required, which is good. We'll keep on building up those facilities, which is nice. Plenty of supply moving in there. Well, that's it, but I don't want to get too hung up on losses, because the thing is, there's not much you can do. If you could prevent a loss, you would try. Right, that's moving west. That is an AP. I might go ahead and try and intercept whenever I can. I'm looking forward to getting Port Blair built up. Hayashio is in here. And we do have a number of destroyers that have been damaged that I can have repaired at a later date, which is good. I think we have 2 that moved to Singapore now. Yep. Natsushio. Shira Suyu. Should be moving in there to be repaired as well. Singapore's already going to be proving its worth there for us, which is good. Right, so we have the DMSs over here. We also have the heavy cruiser. I did send one group of DMSs towards Singapore, actually, in case they are needed elsewhere. I may potentially have them move down to Merrick, perhaps. We'll see. We might go for... I don't think I'm going to just remain here at Semarang. Sorry, at Car whatever. I probably will naval invade Semarang, perhaps. We'll see if we can avoid it. Maybe it might be a better idea. But it would be worthwhile to potentially land like a regiment down here in the mountains and try and secure the mountainous hexes here in the south. That'd be quite good. We'll see, we have our forces concentrated in the north where Batavia is, so that's fine. Okay. Kid Batavia has been in the port of Truck for a few days, undergoing repairs, which is good. Yeah, so they have been repaired, damage repaired, sorry. Shokaku has a decent bit of system damage, but we can have that repaired. She's being worked on now, which is good news. Yeah. So you can see Akagi and Soru are repaired. Not too far from the others. Yeah, I'm glad that we have them here to undergo repairs. Kitakami needs to be moved out to Japan in the near future. Isokazi as well. Though Isokazi is 253, she could actually go into the repair dock. She should have that option for repair dock. I'll keep it as she is then, because I might have her sent back to Japan just in case. Yeah, we've got a lot of that wear and tear from the high-speed maneuvers. So I'm not seeing anything in this area. We did hit Pyro last time, but I'm not seeing anything right now. Which is somewhat worrying. Not seeing any detection of Talag. I'm not seeing any detection out here, which is a interesting little aspect there. What's the weather in the area? That might explain things. Clear weather over here. He's obviously running ASW out there. Naval search. I was hoping we could have hit the Pyro again, but okay. So we do have another 4,000 tons of supply unloaded over here to Finschhafen, which is good. There we go. Ley is now at size 4, which is excellent. So I'm going to stop expanding Ley. Now, I may want to go ahead and actually potentially build up fortifications in the future, or maybe build up that port. The port would be nice to build up, because it would be useful to have a size 3 port here at Ley. We don't have to do that immediately anyway. We do want to just build up the supply to a degree. The additional construction units, though, I can have sent elsewhere, which is quite handy. It's always useful to have some construction units at the base, though. I don't know, maybe. You want to have engineers. Construction units are like something of a luxury. And there you go, you can see that we have our construction units being flown in over here. So we have now 46 engineers in the base, which is excellent, so they can begin working on WAU immediately, which is good news. Yeah, so can't wait to get that base built up. We do have our construction units that have arrived over here as well, which is superb. So place them into combat mode. And we have 96 engineers there. So I'm going to go ahead and build that air base up. Can't wait for that. Yeah, the good news is building these bases up. I might have potentially 2 engineers sent over here to Finschhafen, but it's probably a better idea to actually have them sent to either Nadzab or to another base perhaps. Salamua might be worthwhile building up there, because it's already a size 1. That's already size 1. Finschhafen's a size 1 as well, actually. That's interesting. Roads aren't exactly great in this area. So we're likely just to have them flown in all honesty. Maybe I do want to build up some fortifications here, but I'm not too miffed about that. Issue is I do have the 21st Air Flotilla, but I don't have engineers beyond the construction units. So I think reserve and 1 construction unit would be worthwhile, just to give it the ability to repair, really. Fortifications might be worthwhile. But we're now at size 6 over here at Rabal, which is excellent. So at 0% into 7. Once we get to 7, I'll be quite happy. We have here now 15,987 supply, 16,558 fuel, which is excellent. Maybe I might go ahead and actually deploy more mines at Rabal. Just try and make it as dangerous as possible, really. But we'll see. Okay. Take a look at the aircraft. So we do have more repaired. A couple more to be repaired here. Ryujo B5N2K has been transferred over here. Yeah. Or even potentially upgrade, I can't recall actually. So by model. So you can see that we're going to fighters. We have 83 fighters here at this moment in time. I'm looking forward to when we can actually go ahead and upgrade the A5M4, because I think we do need the size 7 airbase for that. Yeah. Interesting. Or we might need that. If we get that 20k, we should be able to do it then, actually. And we should have that 20k soon. So we do have 3,000 tons of supply moving in here directly. We do have these units unloading here as well. You can see there's 4,692 here. Genyo Maru, I'm going to have moved out. She's far too valuable to keep here. So we'll have her moved out shortly. I do have these AKEs unloading. It is a bit of a risk having them unload, because it does deny an ability to rearm ships. But then again, it's a case of, well, what am I trying to rearm here? I could always have them load tenders, keep a little bit of supply on board. And they're useful for everything, but right now I don't have an immediate need, but I do have an immediate need for 20k of supply. So I'd like that. We are trying to move some supply down here to BLeAcHACiD, which would be nice. I don't think it'll make it in the end, but it's worthwhile trying. Okay. So we're still building up the airfield over here at Tarawa. I don't know if I'm making the right choice there, building that up. Maybe, but maybe not. I may cancel that at Tarawa, so I don't want to have that as size 2, because that becomes a very... It becomes a base where he can take that and use it against me, really. We'll see. There's definitely always a balancing act between what you want to have. Now that's intriguing there. That looks to be the AV there. So we'll go ahead and try and pursue that. We do have a head in here which is southeast, which is interesting. Not caught anything around Palmyra yet, but I might have to go ahead and just spread out the patrols there somewhat. Interested to see ships out that way though. Interestingly though, we didn't see a ASW attack. So I do wonder. That could be something useful. He's definitely moving assets up and around here. We'll be going for Wake in the near future. I have a regiment over here continuing to plan for it, which is nice. It may even be that it requires more than that, but we'll see. And what we're wanting to do here then is essentially set up a situation where I can have ASW fly out from Taongi and actually gives a area of relative safety from submarines. And then what I can do is actually go in and have AKs here as well, and go in and like bombard the living hell out of Wake. So having a few DMSs out that way would be nice as well. Okay. Yeah, so moving on there. So at Merrick, looks like there's still mines there, but they'll begin to vanish pretty quick. I just need to have something in there, clear the mines out. This base is now cleared of mines. We did hit the cruiser mine layer, so it's nice to actually get a little bit of revenge there. APD's moving into BLeAcHACiD, so I can go ahead and take control more bases. Speed up the, well, yeah, just speed up the actual conquest of the area. Okay. So we do have these units here. I'm just waiting on the construction units to actually arrive. But I do have the 11th Air Fleet almost completely unloaded. We do have supply being unloaded here as well. Right, they've moved on to ships. Ideally, both of them have SLF. One SLF squad there, so the other will have the rest of them. There we go. Yeah, that's good then. So that means I can take 2 bases at once now, which is excellent. Naval construction is in what's coming on the coming off a shipyard. It's alright. Akitsu Maru's been accelerated. So we'll have that soon enough. We do have a couple of destroyers that have been accelerated, which is excellent. Seaplane carrier, so seaplane cruiser over there. We'll have that soon enough. An AV that's been accelerated as well. Yeah, a few things there really on the slipyard. God, I keep slipway. God damn it, I keep confusing the two. Unyo has been accelerated there. Unyo, not accelerated. Yeah, we'll have things soon enough. Okay. I was hoping we could have got those aircraft there. It's interesting that they're actually there. What did he have there? So we get to see all the units that are in place. He might not have a lot of in way of aviation. ABDA. What is that? America... Is it Australia, British, Dutch, American or something like that command? Can't remember what it is exactly. He has a base force there. That's not bad to say. He had level 2 fortifications. Yeah, not many squads actually destroyed there, really. More just disabled. Ops mode is interesting. I wonder if they moved in there in movement mode, perhaps. So he had 7 squads destroyed, 93 disabled, so he's hurting more than we are. He had 30 guns disabled there, which is a fair amount of his guns there. So we've lost forces there, but we can rebuild that. We do have 2 regiments coming in as well as the armoured, which is excellent. Yeah, having Yunyo will help with extra operations. Well, we'll have Yunyo. If she can actually make speed with Kitapatai, we'll have her attached to Kitapatai. American, British, Dutch, Australian Command. Yeah, I thought it was. That'd be good then. So I think that's an aviation support. Well, it's an aviation headquarters, isn't it? I can't recall exactly. It might be a naval headquarters. I'm not too sure. This is the issue. Had I played Allies, I'd be a lot more knowledgeable about what they actually have and what we have to fear. Well, right. TB's moving back over here with the paratroopers, which is good. So Port Blair. Just lacking that supply. That's all we need there, supply. I'm going to go ahead and actually begin to build up the airbase, actually start that up. So we'll have our forces here soon enough to actually be able to... so I have construction units moving in there. I do have about 10k supply moving in there as well. Now it's moving to Port Blair. Additional supply there, but I might have that actually just unload in one of these ports around here. I do want to go ahead and actually escort missions against Rangoon. I'm looking forward to getting this second squadron of Zeros in here. I may be able to go for that. I was hoping that we could have had the base here today, then I would have been able to base them directly in there, and then they could have been flying cap direct, which would have been excellent. It doesn't have that many bombers. There's 3 bombers there, supposedly. Some bombs coming in from Surabaya. He's got some bombers here. It doesn't have that many bombers. 8 bombers over here, Batavia. 10 fighters of Batavia as well. But he only has 2 units supposedly in Batavia. 1 unit over here. 4 units over here still. Yeah, I mean, that's good. That is really good. You see there's 2 units in there at 8,000 men. There's 4 units here at 7,000 men. The regiment should probably be able to manage that. Even if it can't manage it alone, that's still good being able to tie them up to a degree. He really went to surprise me there. I did not actually expect him to be as bold as to attack there. He left 1 unit behind to actually hold the Hex open, which is intriguing. Very interesting. 8 units over here. They look to be static for the time being. Okay. Fair amount of auxiliaries there. Now, we do have the bombers, we do have these fighters here as well. The key 21-2A Sallies have had a good old bit of rest over here, actually. Yeah, I can see some of them do have a fair amount of damage, others are repairing. Fatigue's been worn off the aircraft as well, which is good. Obviously, they were hard-pressed in the early days. You can just see how many ships are actually moving here. Task Force 17. I don't even know where 17 is. Oh, 147, right, okay. I don't know when I saw 17. 147. Which is that one? Okay. So, the subjects are set out ahead of them. I'm moving the AKs up, actually, so I can actually have the ability to rearm. What I want to go ahead and do is... I don't think we're going to need it. 18 units. I'm going to have to go back and check earlier turns to see if that is the same unit amount of units we've been seeing. These fellows have had a little bit of time to recover now, which is good. Having that supply there is excellent too. The good news is once they get up to 100 preparation, then they can start to actually gain experience, which is good. This division moving in north over here. To one go. Okay. Soon, I've still got a couple episodes that I will release to YouTube, and then we'll do another stream. I like to have like a couple episodes out. I think there's about 2 or 3 more, but probably soon. I don't know, maybe tonight if we're lucky. we'll see about that. Did get my university place confirmed today, which was nice, so that's good. Looking forward to finding out what my timetable will be, and then ideally I can actually plan things around there. Right, so moving in there. I could do with bombing that unit, and I think I do have some... Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and actually order a bomb attack against that unit. Ground attack, sorry. I'm going to try and slow it down. If I can, that'd be ideal. If I slow it down, I should have done this last time, but I forgot. If I can slow it down here, we can kill it with the division detachment. Hey, did that justice? We did have a few mines hit by forces of Batavia. We did see him actually moving forces here to Kalijetti? I don't know how to pronounce that. Which is rather incredible, actually. We did fight a shock attack. We didn't win, but we didn't lose bad either. But it actually gives us a really interesting position now. We won a few attacks in China too, which was nice. Here we go. Yep, but we did reduce the fortifications from level 2 to 0, which is good. He's got lack of preparation experience there. Light losses, in all honesty. The disabled hurts somewhat, but we do have 2 regiments coming in the armoured. Apparently it does have some vehicles here as well, but I think they might be more construction vehicles than anything else. No, so we're looking good there. We have the second wave, the third wave coming in here. It looks like, yeah, I mean, this is it. I think he came in movement mode, which would make sense. I'm not too sure. But even then, I don't know. He must have already been moving here, perhaps. So he was here last turn, and I didn't see, like, any movement tick. So he might have actually been already moving towards this base here. Interesting. No, I think it's in movement mode. I'm not too sure about that. The issue is, we don't know how many of his forces were actually in that mode. Could have been less, it could have been more, could have been just one, you know. Hard to tell. Right, that base force moving north there. I might want to actually have that base force moved. I'm going to have that moved instead to Kuala Lumpur, actually. I should have looked at how much AV they had before cancelling that. Yeah. Fuck. They have no AV. God damn it. That was my bad. I should check that first. Hey, doing that, Gary? Well, you're going to be actually quite shocked. He decided to actually fight us over here. Decided to fight, which is intriguing. And really, really good, because we see that there's only 4 units here still. There's 1 unit here. 2 units over here at Batavia. But we did see him actually send his forces to oppose us on beaches, which is intriguing. We'll go ahead and check that for the last time. Yeah, there we go. So we didn't win the battle, but he has a significant amount of AV here. And I'm really glad about that, because that means we actually get to beat it up. We didn't take much in the way of casualties. We inflicted casualties as well. I think arguably, I don't know. I think arguably we did more damage to him, considering we knocked out 30 guns as well. Some destroyed. It's not huge numbers here, but reducing the fortifications down to 0 is good. I think we'll have it. I think we'll have it. We nearly won it as well. We had 2-to-1 odds there. I think had we had a little bit of a better roll, potentially having a headquarters there, we would have won that. Well, that's it, but this is it. This is the thing here. He had twice as many squads destroyed. He had more disabled as well. He had more guns destroyed. Well, he had a gun destroyed. He had 30 disabled. We didn't have any of our guns destroyed or disabled. 1 vehicle destroyed, 3 disabled. And we're going to have more reinforcements next turn. He's kind of... I don't know. He may go ahead and retreat back to this base over here, but I think he's more likely to retreat to Batavia, perhaps. I'd like to think he would retreat to Batavia. I'd love to try and get something in there to try and stop him, but I don't think I'll be able to stop him. The way the shape of the campaign in Java is going to be dictated by whether or not he moves into this hex over here with the majority of his forces. I had expected him to move in here today, and I'm glad he didn't. So that gives us a chance to tangle with him there, really. Does the squad have the same size in every nation? Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I think you just probably have more squads in different units than you do in others, in terms of nations, obviously due to the representation of manpower, etc. Well, the fighting element there. Oh, so we won that, but they didn't actually retreat entirely out of the Hexen. So there's a unit here that is absolutely destroyed. A little bit annoying, because I was hoping I could have actually begun moving on over here. So we'll destroy this unit and then move north. A little bit annoying, does slightly delay us. Yeah. But I can go ahead and deliberately attack that, and we can begin moving north again. 1 unit there. One of those units was already destroyed. He still has that core with a little bit of AV there, but inevitably we'll get there. We destroyed a few units here, which is nice. Moving here to the north. Yep, so we'll arrive tomorrow, which is good news. So tomorrow then I will be able to order, well not tomorrow, the turn after, I will be able to order a shock attack. It is 2 units. It is times 3 terrain. I think we'll order a shock attack there, keep on moving. We only have 1 unit here. We have arrived in this hex over here, which is excellent. He's still here as well. I've already sent off the THG turn, actually. There wasn't that much to really do, to be honest. Very little that I had to do. It's just mostly just keeping things moving around, really. Well, we already have the China army. Dadman said he was fine for me to use the Guangdong army, so we get to use that. You can still make this offensive. It has been easier for us to defend, but he has some blue forces around, so he probably still would have been able to maintain an offensive like this without the additional forces. But having the additional forces certainly does help, don't get me wrong. Right, we finally arrived here, which is good. Headquarters is here as well to help out. Having assigned there to combat. I mean, I could potentially even use that as bombing practice, but I will go ahead and order a shock attack against it. Probably will retreat somewhere, but I want to just kill it off, and then I don't have to deal with it again. Well, I can't take the Manchurian troops. I can't take troops in China out of China without paying. Like, I can have Manchurian troops used in China, but I can't have Chinese or Manchurian troops used in any other theatre. I'd have to pay there. But we do have the Thai forces moving into Burma, as they already are. They can be used just fine. And we will have Japanese forces moving into India. Well, into Burma shortly. No, the rule agreement that we have is that I can't take them out there. I could pay to have them taken out to peace house rules. But, we'll see. Okay. So we moved across here, looking nice. Yeah, Armored Car Company didn't get smashed, which is nice. So we have a fair bit of disruption and a little bit of fatigue, but not bad at all, really. The good news is we are across here. Yeah, we have very little rules. The only real rule is I have to pay for troops to be brought out to China. I think that works the same for him, not too sure. Oh, so he's sending a unit against us over here, which is intriguing. In fact, I was going to take that mixed brigade out, but I'm actually going to have them remain there now. I mean, that is wooded rough, so that is times 3 terrain. Has a level of fortification. There's only 1 unit moving against us, as far as we can tell, so we should be able to manage fine against that. He's probably looking to see about any weaknesses in the line out here, but I don't know. I don't know what he'd be doing that for. Like, why move that unit when you're not moving all these units here? in my opinion. Okay. Our divisions arrived down here. So we're going to order shock attacks on these guys. 1 unit here. Clear terrain. And 1 unit there in clear terrain. So we'll order shock attacks there. I'll likely then have them move back to Nanchang, sorry. The reason why I'm doing that is just because I do not like to have Chinese units near our bases here. Yeah, we could do stuff like that. It's definitely a freeing experience because it does make it far easier to actually understand what you can and can't do. Right, so we are going to go ahead and order a shock attack here. Right, there we go. So I do have 1,193 AV here. We'll be attacking into ×2 terrain. But the good news is once we kick them out of this hex and ideally destroy them as well, we'll be in clear terrain. And then what we need to do is cross the river and then we'll march on towards Xi'an, which is good. And we might even be able to take with something like that sort of force there, but we do have another 2 forces here, and we do have this force now that is going to begin moving here. So 2 units over here, the 2 units that were kicked out, which is good. We'll send a unit then to take Yan'an. We did rough, yep. Have everybody follow that unit. I don't want to have the armored unit move out ahead of him. Actually, what I need to do then is choose a unit with the least amount of disruption or fatigue. So I'll have them follow the 4th Battalion. Should ideally keep them together. I don't think it makes a difference really, but it should keep them together. As far as it goes to strategic bombing in China, it's not... I don't know, I don't think it's worthwhile. You can do a lot of damage, but I don't think it's worthwhile. Like, I'm using the bombers that I want to use. The bombers we're not using, we're resting... Well, not resting, sorry, we're using for training. The paratroopers in China would be nice, but I don't need it. We're going to be moving in here to take Burma. And frankly, we just don't need it. China's going to be falling here. It's looking pretty encouraging, to be honest. He's given us the ability to move on here, which is nice. We'll be inevitably arrived at Xi'an shortly. After that, we'll begin to move on towards, like, Langchao. And once we begin to move on to Langchao, cut this northern part of China off, and there's not much you can do about that, then. Once we take Burma as well, that'll begin to see him starve a supply. It'll still take time to defeat China, but it will be achievable. It will be achievable. When I do march against Wankao, I might even potentially use the Congo and Ise. Congo is actually finally available for service. Yeah, she's finally ready for active service now, which is excellent. And I'm going to have her F1M2Ps replaced by Jace if we so wish to do so, which we will do. But yep, there we go. Congo is now ready for service. We do have some destroyers over here to escort her to where she wishes to serve, which is going to be alongside the Kid of Batai. Excellent news there. Over here, Ise is in port. She's going to be in there for a fair while. 89 days, apparently. Yep, 8 to 9 days it is. Bit of a shame. But she'll be eventually out of there. No, we don't have Wake yet. We have a plan for taking Wake. It's one of these things of, like, Wake is important to have. No, just, you need to understand here, like, yeah, we could have gone in for Wake, but we'd have gone in against more units than really we expected. We know there was a very effective submarine campaign against the assets in the area. We would have had to have Kitapatai in the area to make sure we had defense of these forces, because we still haven't accounted for the 4th carrier as far as I'm aware. I think there's 4, there's definitely 3 carriers in the south, there might be a 4th carrier in the south. So it wasn't a good situation. We will have Wake in time, don't worry about it, my man. Like, literally, this is it. Wake is one of those islands where it's nice to have, but it's not imperative at this point in time. But it's not an island he can hold on to, because we will have forces there. The original plan was to take New Caledonia. We have a toehold over here, which I'm trying to get supply down to. Eventually, I would like to move down to New Caledonia. We will be able to achieve that by building up these islands and moving slowly down here and actually maintaining an adequate amount of air support in the area. Midway? Nah, not really. It's nice, but I don't think we'll be able to get away with it, really. Just as Wake is untenable for him, Midway is untenable for us. It's like Midway's not that far away from Pearl Harbor, but... sorry, yeah, Wake isn't that far away from Pearl Harbor, but it's much closer to us than it is to Pearl Harbor. Whereas Midway is closer to Pearl Harbor than it is to anything that we have. It's an isolated base, it just can't hold, really, against the terms of resistance. Right, so we have more fuel over here to power Shirojima, which is good. There we go. Now we're looking good in China. Things are definitely moving in the way that we want them to. Yeah, but he's not going to... Why would he reinforce New Caledonia? I mean, this is it. You've got to think that he's not going to be making these same decisions that THG did. And it's one of these of... New Caledonia is nice, but it's not worth that much. It's a good to have, but it's just simply not worth that much. And if he moves 3 divisions to New Caledonia, sure, that's brilliant. I don't think he has 3 divisions, though, so remember that. The Allies do have power, but they don't have infinite amount of power, and they don't have it immediately. Okay. You like to ask a lot of questions there, just, don't you? The amount of comments always go through the roof when you're here. That's a good thing. Right, let's see. JF coin moving there. We do have our own forces of Thai. Can I... Whoops. I won't be able to reform them. But we can start your marching. So you could begin marching to Pigu there. I mean, that's a given there, Grim. I don't think he needs to get more ships. I mean, like, obviously he's going to get ships. So it's one of these things of, I don't think he's... I don't know, because it's one of these things of, like, why would he be so aggressive with his carriers? He could even just simply stand off, and he's still gaining that time. He's definitely looking to win sooner than 45, I'd say. Which makes sense. I mean, this is it. Even in reality, you weren't going to just wait around. He's still talking about Midway there, just? Oh, you talked about New Caledonia. We'll be able to get it in the future, don't worry, man. Yeah, I mean, this is it, but the thing is, we just need to develop our defenses. The Americans, the Allies are going to get more stuff. I mean, who gives a shit? I mean, this is the thing, if we got hung up on about the amount of stuff that the Allies would get, and will have, it's like, you might as well just, like, surrender now. But the thing is, it's like, even with all the carriers that they will inevitably have, it doesn't really matter that much if you don't have the ability to employ them correctly. We'll get lucky. Our time will come, don't worry about it. Okay, so we are bleeding off fatigue here. We should be able to attack probably tomorrow. I'd like to see these guys lower. They've been a bit stubborn there. We're up to 1708 AV now. Yeah, but that's the thing, Grim. You can't take that view of the game, because the thing is, you might as well surrender from the start then. History doesn't actually... Well, I mean, this is it. History worked out the way it did because of the things that happened. The things that will happen in this game will not happen as they did in history. So the outcome will be different. It might eventually be the same, as we will very likely see defeat, especially against a experienced player such as Danman. But this is it. It's going to be a different game. We do have the ability to do things that Japan didn't. We have the ability of foresight, which is very useful. It's useful for him as well, but it works both ways. So don't get hung up on numbers, it doesn't really matter. Unless it's here now, what does it matter? Something that's going to be arrive in a year's time, who gives a shit? Okay. Yep, each day that preparation increases, which is handy. Looking good. 99 AV here. How are we looking at those qualifications? I think I might stop at about 4, but we'll see. It does take a while to build it up to 4. I don't know, I may leave it there, we'll see. Yeah, we had our second unit arrive here, which is good. So that does bring up the actual AV here. But what I'm thinking about doing then is having them actually march north to Malban, and then I could have them march back into Manila. The reason here is just to try and cut off any ability for him to really cause us problems there. Huh? What are you talking about there, Grim? Good, we have our supply moving. Oh no, that's the tankers. Why have those taken so long to load? It must be due to these guys here, but that's still taking a long time. Yes, this is the series against Admiral Dadman. You are aware. I don't know why they're taking so long. I think what I might do then is actually have... I don't know, they shouldn't be taking this long. It's weird that they are. I mean, there's no naval support, but it's a size 4 port and they're docked. I can't imagine it should take that long. Oh well, it takes as long as it takes. I'm confused by what you said there, Grim. I think you should play as US against him for 2 reasons. One, you could learn how a good Japanese player does. It's a bit harsh. Oh dear. Yeah, you are aware this is a separate campaign, right? And it does say there, first strike of the Homeland, not until the cherry blossoms fall. I'm gonna have to find a way to make this campaign, like, distinction more visible. It does surprise me that people do get confused even now. Okay. I think we're about done here. I mean, this is it, we're about... And if you didn't know this was a separate campaign, we're 52 turns into a separate campaign here. Jesus Christ, man. Oh, bless you, Grim. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the R&D. And then I will call it about then, actually. There's not that much else to do other than the little fiddly parts. It'd be nice to try and get the turn sent off today, perhaps. We'll take a look at the R&D here. True, but that's like saying a car is a car just because it has 4 wheels. There's the differences, man. Okay. Not far off there, so we might actually have progression tomorrow, which is nice. Seen a nice number of 4s there. That 0 is not good, but the 4s are nice. Okay. The supplies almost arrived at Tarakan, that's good. So it's not enough supply to repair Tarakan completely, but it's a nice start. We'll need some more supply out this way. It'll give us a good way in there. I will need more. I could do a little bit more supply over here at Jolo, but I might actually leave Jolo. I do have supply over here at Bernardo, which is taking an obscene amount of time to load there. So I might actually have that sent to Jolo instead. Cancel a lot of our supplies. I don't want to have too much loaded on there just in case. I don't want to have too many eggs in one basket there. These fellas have arrived over here, which is good news. So I can have them disband. I do need fuel here, but we do have fuel moving down. Is it moving yet? It's not moving as of yet. It's nearly finished loading. Ah, now it's finished loading today. Good. Okay. I'm hoping to not take more fuel from the home islands. I'm hoping I can actually just make use of the Dutch East Indies fuel in the near future. I just need to get the ability to have tankers move across here safely without the worry of submarines. We'll get to that point. Still loaded supply over here to Marie. Now, I do have... Yeah, so we need another 117,000 supply here, which is not that far away. We have 21,000 there right now. We have another 11,000. So we can prepare like another 30 odd oil there before I need to send some more supply. That'll be good. Nice to see the supply situation over here as well. Yeah, working out, which is nice. It's taken a long time to build up that amount of supply there. So I think any operation against Rangoon would have been actually doomed. Oh, so it looks like he's actually moving a unit there. Does he have a line straight across? Does he have a road across? Oh, no, he doesn't, but he is going to move there, then move that way. So that explains that movement. It could be that we potentially even use paratroopers to seize this base, because I do have paratroopers over here at Saigon. Second rated regiment looking good as well. So maybe we do have paratroopers used against him here. They wouldn't have like a clear line of supply, but it could move across the terrain, I think. Is that a dot base? Oh, I was hoping that was like a dot base on the coast, because I could potentially have taken that for like a fast transport and got some supply in there. But taking that base would be nice, because I would isolate Rangoon, and it would cut the Burma Road there for us, which would be excellent. Moving in on this base as well. Looking good. Well, the thing is just that that situation doesn't really exist, really. But we'll go with that, then. So I'm going to say a big thank you there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. It's been a pretty good turn, pretty eventful turn. We have forces moving about, and we're looking good. Oh, actually, can we reform the division here yet? I always look forward to when I get to do that. I love reforming divisions. Right, let's see. You can't be sure. Unit Americ. 55th. Yeah, okay. Where's 18th? Is it 18th? Oh, it's the 5th. God damn it, which unit is it? I'm not too sure what you mean there, just. Freaking 5th. Where the bloody hell's the other division? There we go, 18th. Oh, still in typing. Right, so they're moving across this turn. Yeah, so they'll be arriving in about 2 days or so. Maybe tomorrow, actually. Yep, they'll be out into Taiping. In about 2-3 days, they'll be finally out. Another 2 days across into Georgetown. So we're looking good there. So we'll have another 2 divisions then to send north into Burma, which I can't wait for. Imperial Guard division's moving north right now. Yeah, we have Imperial Guard. So that's 2 divisions, sorry, 2 detachments to the Imperial Guard there. They're heading over here to Devoy, which is Jungle Rough. 1 division heading out, well, 1 detachment heading over here to Migu. So that's good. Once we have that, we'll have a few thousand tons of supply pumped onto that road there. A few thousand tons of supply on that road would be excellent. I would love to potentially land forces over here to Bulbian, but I need to have an adequate amount of air cover and an adequate amount of sea cover. So having a march down from here is fine. Well, I mean, this is it. We could go for an amphibious invasion, but I don't need it, because we have Pegu over here, which is excellent. I will have these forces landed over here, and then they can march up the road. It'll take a few days, but they'll eventually arrive up here. The important thing is having control of this road, getting that supply moved up. Ceylon would have been potentially on the cards had we had the Minikid Batai, but we unfortunately do not, so we'll have to potentially wait a little bit longer when it comes to hitting Ceylon. It can be done, but we need to resolve Burma before anything else then. But it'll be done soon enough. I should have, yes, Sasebo, a SLF is finally moving in there. So what I'll do then is have the SLF unit used to take units over here. I might even have the, I do have a couple of spare regiments here. So I have 41st Regiment, which is part of the 30th Division. Yeah, so what I can do then is take the regiment, I forget which regiment it is now, the 30th Division Regiment. I can have it moved across to this base over here, marched up to take Medan. Quite a lot of oil and refineries there, so I might want to send another regiment perhaps. We'll see. Well, we can't reform Minikid Batai because we can't build new carriers as such. Well, we can't build old carriers because they're gone forever. But we don't need a Minikid Batai, and it would have been useful to have had, but we lost that, so we have to move on. And this is the thing I try to press on with people, is the carriers are extremely important, but they're not the be-all, end-all. And this is it, we lost the Minikid Batai out at sea, but, well, it hasn't really stopped us anywhere else. It delayed things. It made things a little bit trickier. We lost some parts. We lost aircraft I would prefer not to have lost, but hey. You don't fight the war if you don't expect to lose anything. Okay. I don't think they need to recover anything yet, but at 100% TOE. It's a very strange unit, this one. But it's useful as a little garrison, really. Okay. Right, we'll go with that. So thank you so very much there, ladies and gentlemen. If you have enjoyed this, please do go ahead and subscribe here on Twitch and on YouTube. That would be much appreciated. I'll go ahead and say a quick goodbye to my lovely patrons. Will be just a moment here. So a big thank you here to Ove Cato Borsheim, Susana and Daniel Stanislav, 14123, Alex Diligent Grady, Paradigm Blue, Thunder, Erkkijuusto, Dingopat4, Baines, KO, BLeAcHACiD, Eric Wild, Spacht, Imperator Thrawn, Rick Chambers, James Lindsay, Iceycrome, Talon1E, deepicduck, Raphael, Paul Sanders, SunYan, The Forgotten, Lord Luba, Ricky Blinson, and Gregory VanHouten. Thank you so very much there, my fine patrons. You guys are fantastic, and thank you very much to my viewers here for being here once again. I will see you in the future. Goodbye for now. Have an excellent day and an even better evening. See you later, then, Mexicans. I love that name. Iceminasai, Jene, Sayonara. Goodbye for now.